Hello, everyone, and welcome to ZSR2. We've got ourselves another match of the Zelda 2 Randomizer Standard Tournament 2023. This is our final Swiss Round 1 match here between Nimanva and chromataclysm. I'm starting with me in comms today as Nightcrawler. How are you doing?
It's a beautiful Saturday for most of the world, I think, or half, whatever, some amount of the world, and I am getting ready for this Z2R match. Yeah, Chromataclysm. It's good to see him again. I don't think I've ever seen Nimanva race before, so I'm looking forward to seeing this matchup right here. Should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we have seen Nim before. Nimanva is how you pronounce that, by the way, I believe.
Mm.
But Nim is, we've seen him in one or two previous standard tournaments. They might have been in upstarts earlier this year. I'm presently having a brain fart on it. But primarily, I believe a Dragon Warrior Randomizer player, so should be
Yeah, we
so it
have a
should be an interesting one to see. Chroma, of course, a veteran of the community, winner of the 2021 Standard Tournament and of the 2021 Speed Gaming Live Tournament. But unfortunately, I haven't seen him in a little while due to some real life issues. So it should be interesting to see how he does. Might be a bit of a D-Rust here from Chroma.
Mhm. And I believe our tracker is from the same community as Nimanva, right? So that's pretty cool.
Yep, indeed. Archie is doing their first ever D2R tracking shift. Glad to have you. So
none
as
of them,
always, please give our
none of
runners a
them.
follow. Nim. Oops, go
Oh,
ahead.
I was just gonna say none of them chose the Dragon Warrior sprite. That's too bad. Anyway, go for
But
it.
please do give our runners a follow, as well as my Nimanva and Chromaticalism, as well as my co-com Nightcrawler, and our tracker RG, whose Twitch is the same as Discord. Just need to add them to the list. And we should be going here shortly.
I see. Chromaticalism has replaced his picture with a kaleidoscope of colors beyond space, as is the case typically for him.
Yep.
We got Air versus Link.
Yep. And Chad can't see it, but apparently Nimanva's birthday was last week, and they have a very, very
Very,
loud.
yeah, that's a good word for it. Happy birthday! Even if it was last week.
Yep. Apparently, a bunch of people chipped in to get him a new computer, which is very nice of them. So there's a whole blurb on his stream for that. Um, complete with some party pigs.
I've never had a party pig before, but maybe that's what my parties have been lacking. How about you? You big on the party pig?
Never had one either.
That pig looks super happy though. The one with the beer.
Yeah, it is pretty funny. You guys, for the chat, you guys can check out Nimanva's Twitch to see to see the scene in question. It's something, all right.
All right. So we're almost ready.
Yep. Just waiting on our runners to ready up, and then we should be going here shortly.
Ooh, Nimanva made a save state. That'd be unfortunate if he reloaded it on accident. That'd be real bad. I
Yeah, it would.
it might be a good idea to not make states like that.
Yeah, I got fingered a save state while just streaming something on my personal stream a couple days ago. Thankfully, it wasn't a huge deal, but at least for the purpose of the stream. But I did technically lose a couple hours of progress.
Yeah.
I was doing just streaming some bonus content, so I was able to load it from a different save I have of the game because I was replaying it. But yeah, don't recommend fat fingering save states even in casual play. Definitely don't do it in a tournament, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, obvious. Well, he showed us before, like, there was no save state there before, so he made it just now. Which means if he loads it, he's going to be at the start of the game with I suppose the save file would be there, but people only save when they want to like up an A and get out of a palace.
Yep. Yeah, pro tip, watch those hotkeys. Yeah, TH, I don't even know why I had those. I guess for that particular video I was using a couple days ago, I just forgot to clear the hotkeys because I usually do, but I guess I didn't, and well, I promptly undid the hotkeys after. As we're going here, back on topic, we've got the vanilla-like quest, starting in the northeast corner with the raft, basically straight north of start. Well, that's a nice early find.
Interestingly, Nimanva had slightly better movement. Got to his little flute, his little flute raft thing, slightly before chromataclysm. But chromataclysm up and aid immediately after getting his, and as a result, was able to check more stuff.
Yep, Parapasser Cave's right here next to start, and then let's see where this third one is. I suspect this is likely an item. Mostly because it would be a little weird to have all three passers right here.
That would be interesting, because then later on you'd be pretty confident that all of these other caves would be... Oh, well, there's a passer.
Well, I'm proven wrong. We've got all three passers, I guess. I guess we're not... Okay, well, thanks, game. That's actually kind of funny.
Well, chromataclysm is going for the red Dara. And
again, looking for some early XP.
Yeah, he's got 11 more till his first sword level.
Yep,
he might
and
actually
it looks
want
like...
to get an encounter.
Yeah, and we've got ourselves our first town here, which is Rauru, basically straight west of Start with Fairy in it.
Great first spell to get. He's already marked it.
Yep. But yeah, looks like we do have a vanilla-like west today, so got a pretty big variety of biomes. This is going to generally be a map that's split approximately in half, north-south. So we're on the northern half of the map, and we'll need to find a way to the southern half at some point. Could be one of the two of our three passer caves are going north-south, so it could be one of those. Or maybe both. Or we might need to just walk along the southern edge of the northern half and see if we can't find a mountain pass leading south somewhere. These can be interesting because each half of the map tends to be pretty open-ended, but getting between them can be a little finicky.
Looks like there's no hint at Rauru.
Nope, no hint to be found there, as both our runners have now picked up Fairy.
So there's four more possible hint locations. The other three towns and the grave.
Yep. P5 here, just west of Rauru.
Probably not the first palace these guys want to go into.
I'd imagine not, especially without much of any levels or a glove or any key. It's not... P5's usually not something you want to dig 2 minutes into a seat.
Ooh, look at that! Chroma got a key. I think he's gonna pick it up on the way back, so I think the A...
Well, never mind.
Back. Well, he might pick it up anyway.
Never mind the key, because there's the Eddie key and Trophy Cave here for both runners, as Nim also gets the drop. Does pick up the key, it is going to lose like 2 or 3 seconds to Chroma here, just because of that. Which is like the most minor of time losses ever, as we are going to see a P1 dip for Chroma. Finding P1 in the southwestern part of the northern half.
Picking up that key didn't lose him any time, because you can pick it up while you're still in the air and keep your momentum.
That's true.
Which is what he did. But yeah, if you pick it up while you're on the ground, then yeah, you'll lose momentum. It'll lose a second or two for you.
Yep. And Nim's also going to take a look in P1. They do have any key. They do have the fairy spell, so this actually makes a fair bit of sense. It's a pretty early palace. It's fairly close to start. If they there could be a good early item in here. Maybe you'll just beat the boss while they're here too. And if they can't, well, it's not too bad to get back.
Yeah, I'd say this is the best call. They could end up being glove locked, and I don't know if you've seen the cost of Fairy. They might not be able to cast it yet, but I mean, they both got a magic level, so I mean, I think they'd be fine. Especially because there's that 200 point P-bag right there. If for some reason they couldn't cast it, getting magic 3, they probably could. And let's say they pick up even a lame item from P1, like a P-bag, it's better to get it early rather than later. a lot of the worst items that you can get from the big item drops, they're more beneficial early in the game.
Yep. And yes, we did. Yes, this race, as we see, the item in one is just a red jar. Chroma's not even going to bother picking it up because they don't really need to.
Wow, this game made a liar out of me.
Yes, it did. But right, yes, we originally slotted to put this race on ZSR 3, but we shuffled around the ZSR channel assignments a bit, so we're now on 2. And for those just tuning in, we did start 20 minutes late because one of the runners slept in a little bit.
But you know what? That means Nimanva is very well rested.
I wasn't going to call him out by name, but yes.
Well, one of our racers, they saw Chroma practicing.
And no, we were on the countdown scene and then cut stream for 10 minutes. Nightcrawler. So.
Well, okay.
And yeah, so we are live. We are 6 minutes in, and P1 is not providing much of anything right now. I don't mind this color at least too much. It's a pretty nice shade of turquoise.
Yeah,
turquoise, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's cyan. That's what it is.
I thought cyan was a little brighter.
You can have a dark cyan. Maybe.
Semantics.
Well, the light color here is definitely cyan at least. Yeah, I remember cyan used to be a very common color you'd see in computer programs like like CGA and stuff. Those kind of monitors. Not so much anymore. It's kind of almost seafoam. That's a good one.
Yeah, that almost is. Yeah, at least it's not sharper lime colored. Yeah, and the randomizer can produce some very eye-searingly bright palettes sometimes. Chroma's found Horsehead here, and I'm not quite sure where it was. Very nice 500 points off him.
Yeah, that's a
Chroma
dead
looking
horse.
to get attack 4 from a hit.
He beat it, but it wasn't dead when he beat it, at least.
Yeah.
A zombie Horsehead would be pretty cool.
Yep. And there's Nim finding the red jar, is going to pick it up even though he has a full magic bar. And off he goes. Off Chroma goes, and Nim too, technically.
They both go off. But,
and we're going to see our second item cave here for Chroma, who's going to ferry through here. Chroma, Fairy is barely castable at Magic 2 here. Looks like it casts about 60, I'd guess?
Yeah, looks like about 60.
Just under 4 full bars.
Yeah, for those who don't know, each bar is 16 pixels wide, and it's 1 pixel per magic point. That's kind of why sometimes you can see it. It's kind of hard to tell when the magic gets near the edge because like that color doesn't change. The blue borders don't change, but they are 2 pixels wide or 1 pixel wide, whatever. I don't know. It's 1 pixel, I think.
59. Check from him there. So yes.
59. Cool. But yeah.
I partially said 60 because it's a nice even number.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks like we didn't see any thing over to the western side that leads us south. So it looks like we need to head over here where Chroma's at to head south and find another item cave. We do also have a boulder block cave here, fairly close to start, so we might need a hammer later to pick up whatever that is.
Alkaline Acid might have said 108 when they got it, because they had Magic 1 when they got it.
Yeah, magic spell costs do generally decrease with your magic levels. It won't decrease every level necessarily. It is usually randomized with the flags we tend to play for tournaments, but it will never go up in cost with each magic level.
Yeah, that'd be rude.
It would be.
Don't want to be rude.
Thankfully Digshake wasn't that mean, and neither is Elendar.
Not yet.
Chroma's actually changing his mind. He's not going back further south. He's going to take a pass through. I'm not sure if I thought he could have continued further south past the cave where he found that second heart container, but he's apparently going to take this pass through instead. Gonna go through Fairy Cave here. Or not, proving me wrong. Thanks, Chroma.
You're a liar. You're a liar and a phony.
Ha. But yes, each bar of magic is 16 points, and the spell cost in the menu is going to tell you how many points it costs. So, for instance, you always start with 4 bars of magic, so that's 64 points, then 5 is 80, that's a glove block for Nimanva. Thankfully, we know that's not a problem, because Foresight is not behind that. Then 6 jars is 96, 7 jars is 112, and 8 jars is 128. Since when do dragons lie? Lol, Irene. Hell, they lie on their hearts. Ha. And you can't spell Nightcrawler at all.
Hey, come on now.
You're mixing up homonyms. Homophones, sorry. And, well, I am actually a terrible liar in terms of telling things that are the truth. Chroma is really, really good, totally. Yes, he is. I guess, yeah, you haven't really been around as a ZSR streamer until after, since Chroma took a bit of a break from Rando for personal reasons. But Chroma's really, really good. He won the 2021 Standard Tournament and the 2021 Speed Gaming Live Tournament.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Chroma's probably...
I think he's made it to at least semis or finals of at least one other tournament besides. Unfortunately, I had to take a drop out of Standard last year and not play next Rando this year due to, I believe, some personal issues, but is back, and we're glad to have him again.
Yeah, I would say, like, you know, Trails, Mirai, Chroma, J. Coper, those are probably the top runners. Or maybe I'm missing one or two.
I think you got the big ones, at least among the currently active runners.
But it has been a while
Chroma
since
is in
Chroma
P5
played,
while we're saying things.
Yeah, Attack 4 is good enough to do this Palace, although he's trying to keep this life. He has confidence that he's going to keep this life.
He is using every bit of that skill we're talking about to keep that life and probably run Space Words into a glove block, so never mind. Also fair. Like, the Z2R community is a bit of a degen lot. 7 PM is pretty early usually for this bunch.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's a lot of racers who will race at least, you know, an hour or two after this. It's actually fairly infrequent that we get, like, racers at, like, 3 or 4 hours after now, but it does happen. But yeah, if the latest you can be up is, like, 4 or 5 o'clock, then you're probably gonna miss most of the races. Sorry, Alkaline.
Yeah, like, Elka's French, so yeah, it's 1:30 in the morning for him. As a get another hard container, he had a P5 for Chroma, which might have liked that a little bit earlier when he was low on health, but he doesn't really need it besides.
But
Nim's gonna also head into 5 and go ahead.
Being French is no excuse. You can speak French, right? So, or at least
the issue isn't the language, because English is also pretty good. I know that from experience. The issue is the time zones, Nightcrawler. I can understand why Ilka and anyone else would prefer to not watch a race that starts at 4 in the morning, like these guys tend to like to do.
You just have to, you know, mold your entire schedule around Z2R. That's all you have to do. Or we can get more EU runners and comms and stuff. We do have a few comms in Europe, though, who help us out, so that's pretty fun.
Alright, now Chroma's decided to bail out a P5. I don't know specifically why, maybe he concluded it's glove blocked, but does find a cave to... Is that a Canyon DM?
I just didn't really get a good look, so I can't say. I was looking at Nimanva's screen first.
But that is P4 there in the middle of the north middle of the southern half.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Nope, we don't have Reflect. I'm pretty sure my work wouldn't like that. That's true. Like, your work would probably appreciate if you didn't run on an NA sleep schedule, as we find approximately nothing here in the southeast corner of the map. Looks like as is pretty common for vanilla-like West. Ooh, that lava death. That hurts for Nim. Deathbound holds the cross. Great, we're not looking for that.
Yeah.
But as is typical for vanilla-like West, it tends to be pretty open-ended in each half of the map. With one notable exception, as you can see here from Chroma, there's often a pretty big body of water dividing the quadrants. Like, in this case, you can see there's a really big body of water here to the left of Chroma, on the left side of Chroma's screen there, as he finds the medicine, which is nice. Sometimes you can get across such bodies of water with boots or with a bridge. Sometimes you need, or you can sometimes just walk around the bodies of water by way of a bridge or just, the landmass. And sometimes you need boots to get across. Looks like this time we can walk. We might need to go through Saria, actually, but that's not an issue because we have Fairy. Shield and Mito, might as well pick it up.
Nice. Downstab is always a big boon.
Yep.
Yeah, once you get
and do we get a hint here? Nope.
Everything is easier. Alright, Nimanva taking advantage of Fairy to get around that blue Ribonac. That's a good idea. The blue Ribonacs, when you're trying to jump over them, the blue Ribonacs will like sort of try to keep certain distance from you, so you can't really as easily tempt them into dropping down onto your level. So it's harder to jump over them.
You mean Iron Knuckles, by the way, not Ribonacs?
Oh well. They're like little Ribonacs, right?
Yeah. I mean, you're not technically wrong. Ribonac is an Iron Knuckle riding a horse. Do Glove Sub 30 exist? Yes, they're just rare because Rando likes to do random things.
Yep, and also every now and then you'll get a seed that doesn't need the glove, but
That's very, very rare in Standard, especially.
And basically,
a little more common in Max Rando, but in Standard you need the glove like 90% of the time at least.
Yeah, it's so infrequent that nobody even ever gambles on no glove.
Yeah, not unless like all of your palaces are like 4 rooms long and you get to GP without a glove. Maybe, but unless you get stupid lucky, you're not gonna bank on it generally.
Mm-hmm.
And as our lore master, Irene Putmaster, says in the chat, Rebo is basically, for Rebo boss, Rebo is the horse and Knack is the knuckle, technically. It is in the lore of Zelda 2.
Is that so, Irene? I think Irene's messing with you, ZeldaStar.
I mean, I don't know for sure, but Irene usually tends to be pretty spot on with the lore pieces. Chroma here passing through Saria to get to the southwest quadrant of the map, which is likely Saria locked.
Horse knuckle? Ooh. I could see the Knack being Knuck. I could see that. I don't know what Rebo.
Beats me. And here we are.
It's definitely not
we
Japanese.
don't need Bagu, because we took Bagu to get here. And, oh, we're boots blocked from the northwest corner of the southern half of the map. We've got a big old mountain here, but we actually can't get to the northwest corner of the southern half of the map, which is, I think, where Rudo's at, because we haven't found it, and that's a red jar we don't need.
Well, they don't have the trophy yet, so...
They don't have a trophy, they don't have boots, so they can't get there, so that's going to be something to look for later, maybe. But Chroma's instead just going to go and head on off to the Reptile to head east.
Mm-hmm.
Probably sees a presser cave he doesn't want to take just yet. This looks like a mountainous map. Uh-oh.
Yeah, getting a red jar in a palace, not the greatest. Oh, so Chroma kind of messed up that fairy feat there, so he's going to have to either take a death, which could take a while with how many bars he has, or just walk through it, which is what he's going to do.
I'd walk through it, especially because we don't know where the nearest palace is for Nape.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a long way from the... This is a really long way from the start in the... Like, the raft tile is on the opposite end of the map, quite literally, from North Palace. So if he game overs before he finds an Eastern Palace, it's a really long way back.
Yeah, all this swamp is reminding me of older versions of the Randomizer. Oh
Yeah.
man,
Oh,
these
here's a
boots.
cave to Maze Island, and it looks like we need boots to get around this mountainous east, because there's some interestingly placed lakes,
That's
game.
for sure. I think those boots are going to be. Oh, what? The hell?
That's an island
That's
stuff
a
mountain. I thought it might
yeah.
have been canyon, but that's an island. That is
And you need
definitely islands DM. We're not going anywhere on that without boots, unless they have to.
yeah, and the boots are necessary. Yeah, from that entrance. So if I don't think that affects the chance of boots being in Death Mountain because there's still the other entrance. But if that were the case, if the other entrance was somehow blocked, from the water, then boots wouldn't be in there, and then there's a low chance of actually needing to go in there at this point because it could be the glove, it could be the trophy or child or something. But other than that, they don't need any more items probably.
Yeah. Chroma found both items in the Maze Island super quickly, but right next to that bridge tile. I don't know why he's trying that encounter to nowhere when he knows he's got both items. But the items were the flute and the magic jar. Flute's nice, we might need that to explore the east. The magic jar is also nice. Apparently, in Japanese, Rabenak is called Livonak, which and Rebo being a very bad translation of such would not surprise me. This game does not have the greatest English translations. See also Barba vs. Volvagia. Apparently Levo refers to Leviathan.
Yeah,
Which
awesome.
that makes a kind of sense. Rebo does sound kind of cool. Revanek does sound kind of cool, to be fair, yeah. As Nim's in one of our western caves, I forget which, but should be picking up something, as that's a very fast. Speaking of Rebo, this is P3 here in Maze Island. We didn't know which because we hadn't seen any windows, but, well, there's that answer.
We don't have to talk about Ribanak anymore, I suppose.
Not until Nimanva finds it, yeah.
Alright, that's a
And
gem.
that was a heart container for Nim, as that is gem number 2 for Chroma, 22 minutes in.
And that'll be attack 5.
Yep. Chroma going for his usual power leveling strategies, which is where you focus on attack early, get your attack as high as possible, and then once you get to usually attack 7, sometimes attack 6 or 8, depending on the seed and your mood. You'll then take the, several thousand experience that attack level would get you, because placing a gem fills your experience bar all the way up to whatever the next one is. So if you can get your level attack to, level 6, level 7, then the next one is going to be at least 6,000, essentially, and that can get you a lot of life and magic levels. This, of course, requires that the seed be reasonably survivable. Now, for be able to grind up high attack levels, and for you to have the execution skills to have high attack, low life, but can pay out pretty well.
Yeah.
As Nim is going to take a quick look in DM just to see if there's an easy hammer cave, which there is not. And oh, we did not see this bridge from Chroma. This might actually be the way to Rudo for Nim.
Nice.
Chroma finding a dead end in P3 here, still looking for the item while he's here, may as well.
Yeah, P3
He knows he would like
the
boots at
shorter
this
palaces.
point. Boots would help get around the west. They would really help. Apparently, we've seen enough water. We've seen enough inconveniently placed water in the east that the boots would be nice there. And Death Mountain is somewhere he does not want to touch a 10-foot pool without the boots. So this makes sense. Plus, we're still missing that glove.
Yep, and yeah, so Palace 3 is one of the shorter palaces. I mean, the length of the palace can, randomize up and down, but
there's no Rudo for Nim. That's complete nothingness over there. Thanks, game. Where is Rudo? That becomes the question. I'm actually a little surprised by that. But yeah, go ahead, sorry.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so Palace 3 is one of the shorter palaces. It does randomize up and down, but it randomizes up and down from a set point, so there are fewer rooms, so there's less to check, usually. So that makes Palace 3 a very tempting palace to search for items in. And that's a dead end. So
Yeah.
there's probably only one more path left to look for the item there.
I think we're running out of places, yeah, as Nim finds P4, presumably making notes of where that is. One of the keys of Zelda 2 Randomizer is to take notes on where stuff is, otherwise you're gonna end up especially with P4, which is a palace you are rarely able to do on your first trip. You don't want to end up looking at your game, 30 minutes later and going, wait, where was P4 again? When you actually have reflected need to beat it. Because it does happen, we do see not super infrequently that runners sometimes just completely lose track of a landmark.
Well, this looks like Harkton Air Cave for Nimanva. Has chromataclysm already been in this cave?
Chroma saw 6 items in the west. I think this is the medicine. It's a good heart container out of P3, which is
medicine.
Chroma's now at 8 heart containers. He doesn't need all 8 heart containers.
Yeah, that also means he's not really in a rush to get life. Get life 4.
No, he's not.
Did he normal feat that encounter?
He might have link feeded that encounter, yeah. Link feed is a relatively new variant of the strat that we usually see with Fairy Feet, and is a fair bit more difficult, I think.
Yeah, he has full magic, and he didn't pick any magic containers up. So I think he normal feeded that encounter, which is nuts. It's like that's generally considered a task strat.
Link feed which is what I think it's usually known as, is something we see more often. We've seen a bit more often in Rando lately, but it certainly is a finicky one. Or not Rando, speedruns. Yeah, that is a very inconveniently placed lake to the left of Chroma's screen there. We don't know if it's required because we can't walk on that water, and the mountains mean we can't actually see where that lake goes up to, but we're not going that way. We're gonna have to go south through this enormous swamp to get to the town over here. As Nim picks up downstab and Mito.
That'll be very nice for him.
Oh yeah.
Alright, let's get to town.
And this is Nibiru.
Reflect.
Reflect.
Perfect.
Hell yeah.
Bless you.
Yes, that was me sneezing.
Okay. Yeah, if you heard me sneezing, it would have blown out my microphone, so...
There's shield for Nimanva. Chroma's gonna get reflect here and probably also get a heal, although there is a palace just a little bit to the east of this, so he can up there. Get his health back.
They're tending to the thirsty lady. I feel like... Never mind. Alright, we got Saria here. Pick up that jump. You'll want it. Go to the west to find the magic key. Not super useful.
No, I think that they both found that in the first 5 minutes. Thanks, game. Alright, and yeah, Chroma not grabbing a heal in town like I thought. He's gonna just get the up A here at P2, which is rather orange today.
Yes. Yeah, you were saying that Chroma might have been de-rusting earlier. I think this is where his rust went. To this orange palace.
It is very rust-colored, yes. Although I was thinking more pumpkin. As you can see, my avatar has been swapped out with a pumpkin avatar for fall.
Let me take a look.
Sporting a rather pumpkin variant of my regular Discord avatar for a bit here.
You gonna make a jack-o'-lantern this year?
Probably not in person, a little too messy for me, but there's one of the community artists in the Arcane of Time Randomizer Discord. Well, 2 of them actually do pumpkin avatars for people who request them, as you get just a 1 up here in this rather orange P2.
I can't do it a pumpkin where I live because the bears will eat it, and yeah.
Bears are bad news, yeah, that's fair. We're gonna see Nim find the east here shortly. He's pretty close to that raft tile now. And Chroma's still in P2, still looking for Helmet Head, which can be a finicky boss to find. This is also going to be Nim's final item on the west. This is just a red jar, I think it was. Red or blue, one of the two. Not something we needed. It does need to deal with these enemies first. This is not a fun set. Gonna take it nice and slow, hopefully get through them, because this is pretty mean.
Chroma, trying to make sure that he surpasses the 470 experience point threshold or whatever, so that when he places the gem, he can get the sword level up.
Yep, and he will be able to, no matter what Helmet Head rolls he has, he will be able to get it.
Oh no, he needs, because that was...
No, it's a 500 off.
Oh, okay, yeah, 500 life. That's perfect. That's good for him.
60%, and that's going to be gem number 3 for Chroma, 30 minutes, and he's beaten and gotten the items out of Palaces 1, 2, and 3 already, 30 minutes in. Pretty good. And he is going to find nothing there. I said I thought this was a mountainous map. This might actually be a vanilla-like East too. It looks looking a little weird. Yeah, and Chroma got the item out of 5 too. Though he did leave without beating the boss, I would suspect that might have been Glove Block potentially. We're gonna see Red Rock here, which has a forest tile to nowhere. As, oh, that game over hurts for Nim in the cave there. I didn't see if he got the item, but he's gotta go all the way back to the southwest corner of the west to get to the east again.
That's rough.
Yeah, this is definitely actually a vanilla-like east. The vanilla-like east, similar to vanilla-like west, except for there's 3 parts to the map instead of 2. Chroma's got 8 heart containers. He does not need life out of Volkatsuda.
Mm-hmm.
He does have both other tiles here, so he is going to check... What was that?
Thundertown.
Oh, well, they need a child, I guess. Not even gonna get the hit, which I'm surprised by. And fire. So spell's in the Rudo we haven't found, wherever that is.
Low requirement for the old lady at New Pseudo, and it's another magic container.
Oh, that's not too bad. You'll take it.
Yeah, that's probably... Well, he wants a glove. He wants the boots. He wants the child. But after that, or maybe even the hammer, after all those things, he wants magic the next most.
Yep. And Nim's now on the east himself and is, I think, or no, this is still the west. Gosh dang it. 2 vanilla-like maps makes my brain hurt a bit.
Ah, so I see some Nimanva emotes in chat. Looks like a pig is his normal thing. It's not just for parties.
There's a crossholds in-depth DM hint for Nim. And Chroma testing fire. It's not shield, it's not jump, it's obviously not fairy.
It's not spell.
It's not the spell. So I'm thinking it's thunder or reflect.
Yeah, either one of those would be either one of those would be good.
Life. I don't think he had a full. I think he had a full life bar when he checked it, but I'm not sure which that is. And Candle Piglet is apparently Mrs. Nim in the chat. Hello there.
Hello, Mrs. Nim.
The piggy was are pretty cute.
Yeah, they're pretty awesome.
Sadly, we don't have Pup Time on ZSR too, because I do think Pup Time has a piggy notes.
Alright, there's the trophy. So, when Chroma gets to Rudo, somehow,
probably really boots locked at this point.
Yeah, and he doesn't really need to, because he has all the spells he needs, or he knows where they all are. Has he? Sorry, he did check, he did do another check for fire. Did anyone notice the result?
I did not. We do know what spell in Rudo by process of elimination. We really want the boots, I think. Jeez. Because we cannot get to the southwest corner of the east because there's an enormous lake in the... wait, no, that is the western coast, so I'm just being scatterbrained. But he's gonna head back to Darunia to get down. He's gonna get upstairs from Darunia here. I was gonna say, I guess never mind the boots thing. He might still want spell though, because we don't know where that glove is.
Trying for the clip. Third time? Yep, third time.
There we go. Very nice.
That's a
Fire
tough
is
one.
not thunder. Thank you, Triple Factorial, for confirming.
That's unfortunate for Chroma, but it's good for Nim. It's a little bit more of a chance to catch up.
Yeah. And apparently Cannibal picked the name to troll Nim ages ago. Ha.
There we go. Oh, 30. And unfortunately, killing that orange star was not worth. But anyway, whoever finds the child first will have a bit of an advantage. But I guess Chroma is about to find out where the child is.
It's in the east.
Okay, in the east.
Which
so it could be
it's-
spell locked. Yeah.
It's either spell locked or in the water tile behind the boots they don't have.
So they need the boots to get the water
They need
tile,
the
or
boots-
they need the boots to get to Rudo to get spell to get to the spell tower.
Yep. They are not getting. Yeah, it's Thunder in was it Thunder in Darunia, right?
Thunder was in Darunia, yes.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure that puts a spell in Rudo.
Yeah, okay, I just got it backwards. I think we saw Desert Tile close to the connector cave from the
Oh, there's the boots.
There's the boots. Womp womp. Well, we need those badly.
We were getting close to Death Mountain Dig, and I was getting really hyped. But
yeah,
no,
Child's in the spell tower, by the way. We're gonna have to go find Rudo.
It's just in a cave.
Yeah, sadly we aren't going to be digging Death Mountain for the
The glove?
boots.
Well, we still got we still got the glove though.
Yeah, we could still need a glove. That would be fun for some definition of the word. As Nims and Maze Island's gonna pick up both the magic jar and the loot. What on earth are my notes? I think I goofed something.
Well, Island's Death Mountain is actually a lot quicker to check, so.
I think I might have screwed up my notes somewhere. Anyhow,
Oh, wait.
yeah, Fluid Magic Jar and Mason, that's what I thought. My notes are. I goofed my notes. Anyhow, we see P6 here for Chroma. A nice dark red. Rando being gentle on the eyes today so far.
What was the what was one of the items that was going to be in Death... Oh, the cross is in Death Mountain. Okay, so if we know the cross is in Death Mountain, that means the hammer cannot be useful and in Death Mountain. Or rather, until you get the hammer, you don't need to go to Death Mountain. Let's just put it that way. Or
Yeah.
no, actually, that's a 50. It's still 50. Dang it! But it's half as likely, at least.
Yeah. We know there is a Hammerlock cave in the west, but I think it's just the other side of a pass-through because we saw 6 items in the west. Alright, I think we saw 6 items in the west, and my notes being a bit wacky today don't help. Hey Mercs, yep, poor Nim got clunked with Kroba today. As mentioned, Nim primarily more of a Dragon Warrior Randomizer player, not super focused on Z2R, and getting clunked with Kroba, who's a very, very strong player. Previous Standard Tourney champion, a little bit rusty potentially, as we haven't seen him in a while due to some IRL issues, but Chroma is in top form today, playing very well.
We just saw Jackhammer on Barba, which is the only fun way to beat Barba.
Open near Barba too. I do like this community room. It's pretty cool.
Ride the dragon. That's what I always say.
He was very cheerful about the prospect of losing to Chroma. Little kid of the little piglet. At least he's a good sport if he loses, because yeah, Chroma's a very, very tough opponent. Already at 4 gems placed, 39 minutes in.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not like a one and done sort of thing. You know, this tournament's not over just because just because Nimanva got placed with Chrome in the first match.
Oh yeah, because this is only Swiss, so we do have 5 rounds of Swiss for seeding purposes, and then we move into brackets.
Yep, and if you know, playing against Chroma can be educational as well, so that's always good. You know,
Yeah,
you
it
can
can
say
be
like,
interesting.
how did I do this and how did Chroma do this? It's a one-for-one comparison sort of thing.
Yeah, it's very much useful sometimes to just see, okay, I got clunked against with a top player in Swiss round 1, yay me, but at least you can compare how they did versus how you did and see where did I lose my time. You know, because it's usually a combination of things. You know, we've seen, for example, like Chroma has some excellent combat skills. Nims took in a couple rough deaths, and especially that game over that sent him all the way back to start before finding the connector to the east. That one really hurt and cost him a couple of minutes. So it's things like execution, just in terms of combat, but also in terms of routing too. Knowing how to route palaces, knowing how to navigate the overworld, just various little things that can add up.
Yeah, I mean, even Chroma was brand new at this Z2R at one point.
I don't think any Canadian Hole, I'm pretty sure, is still in the random. It's just that there's a lot of rooms that can be in the randomizer, so you don't. So each individual one's less likely to show up.
I haven't seen it in so long, but it's in there. It is in there.
It's in there. It just depends on whether or not the randomizer decides to put it in a palace, because it's not a guarantee, and then whether or not you actually have to go through see that room. Now, I'll also be honest, I don't remember which room that is off the top of my head right now.
It's the one with the big hole that you have to memorize where it is, and if you don't have jump, if you're going from right to left, you can ferry. If you're going from left to right, you need to jump it. If you don't have the jump spell, then you pretty much have to have a perfect jump, or nearly perfect jump.
Gotcha, I think I might remember which one you're talking about.
Oh, that was so cool. Nimanva almost like rode those MOAs like from one to the other, killing both of them, but he was like 2 pixels off from doing that. It was very cool.
Nice, yeah. Apparently, according to chat, we saw that room during the finals of the Upstarts tournament earlier this year.
Good. Yeah, it used to, before we had the room jam, the previous versions of Randomizer, it was just the vanilla rooms, and so that would come up in literally every single game, and it was a very important room to learn how to play well.
Yep. Nowadays, less important just because there's a lot of other rooms that can be there instead. I was talking about unfortunate game overs. That is an ouch of a game over for Nim here in P3, although we know that if he chooses to leave, he won't be hurt. Yeah, it's just his 8 heart container. Although I am surprised he up 8 out of here, because walking it back to the east is slow. I would have walked out of Maze Island on foot back to the east, because this is going to be a really slow walk back to that craft tile.
He did beat the boss in that palace?
He did beat P3, yes, in Maze Island. Rebo is down, so he did place his 2nd gem, but is he heading back to P5? Because I'm wondering where he's going. If he was planning to go explore more of the east, which he hasn't, because he hasn't done that yet, then he should have just walked out. As we find 500 point payback for Chroma, that is not worth it out of P6.
$500 on the floor, which Chroma is just gonna throw back onto the floor. He's trying to, well, he was trying to normal boots it, I think, for a second, and then decided to fairy feed it.
Yeah.
Link feed. My bad. It's a trick that comes up so often that so infrequently that I basically have never had to use its name in a rando race.
Yeah. Chroma's gonna take advantage of those boots and head up to the northwest corner of the east now. Or not quite northwest.
There's a child.
There's a child on the desert tile. Yeah, my notes suck. What's new? I thought child was in New Kasuda because my notes goofed, but no. Child is here, so is the water tile. So we're gonna see our final overworld item on the east. And that's gonna tell us a lot about where our boots are, because we're running out of places for them to be. Not boots, glove.
Glove, yeah.
And never mind. Alright.
He's ready.
Chroma's in go mode, effectively, at this point.
Yeah, he is full dig shake, as they used to say.
He knows where Thunder is, he's got all the other items he could possibly need to beat the game. We're never seeing Death Mountain.
Oh yeah, no, this is definitely go mode. Because he knows where Thunder is, and that's the only thing he could possibly need. He knows where P4 and P5 are, so it's not like he needs the hammer to get through Red Rock.
Not Red Rock, New Kasuda. We haven't seen GP though. It's on the east. We haven't found it actually.
I guess yeah. If GP is on Red Rock, then we could be searching for the hammer.
Not Red Rock, New Kasuda. We saw Red Rock earlier. That's a forest tile.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I meant forest tile. My bad.
You're good.
Three-eyed forest. The fact that Red Rock was a forest is what
not helping.
Crossed our wires.
Child is Thunder, yes, Elke. But Chroma's gonna head back to P5, it looks like.
Thunder! Thunder!
Yeah, and Nim's gonna head back to the east now.
Yeah, unfortunately, these deaths are crossing Nimanva in the it's putting more steps on his pedometer than he would want to have. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, it's especially rough because because getting to the east, or Maze Island, or Death Mountain requires you to walk across the entire western continent, including a trip through Saria if you don't have boots. And that's really, really slow. Like, it takes you probably a good, minute or two just to cross the entire western continent every time you up A out of the overworld? It's not fast.
Yeah. Yeah, so in a lot of those cases, when you finish a palace, like, you could just up an A to get your lives back and then continue on from there. That's a big decision that you can make that can save a lot of time depending on the layout of the overworld.
Yeah, and this is one such overworld where you do want to avoid upping all the way back to the west as much as possible, because this is really, really, really slow, unfortunately, as we can see for Nim. Versus Chroma, he's going to be P5 here, go back east, and never come back to the west. Like, this is his final thing to do here. He will be out and gone. He will never again have to make the hike all the way. Here's a glove block.
Finally breaking that glove block that stopped him earlier.
Yep. And Nim is seeing that bright with that P2, which is a much brighter orange on his side. I think Nim's capture is a fair bit brighter than Chroma's, so you can see that Nim's colors around the panels are a little brighter than Chroma's more muted ones.
Yeah, I think Chroma is recording off of hardware, and I think Nim is using emulator.
I know Chroma is definitely hardware to armor with Nim's emulator.
Yeah,
the emulator usually is brighter.
Nim brought up his save state toolbar earlier, so
that's a good point. Yeah.
So you get those brighter colors on emulator a lot. Sometimes there's color loss or detail loss, and you're capturing off of hardware.
Yeah, emulator just also tends to be brighter. And
yeah, one of the things about NES is that, from what I understand, there are like 64 colors. For some reason, like 8 of them are the same color, black, and then they don't display this. They're not absolute values that are displayed It like depends on what kind of TV you have, what color comes out. I don't really get the technical, like how that works technically, but that's my understanding. You can hook the same NES into various different TVs and it'll show slightly different colors.
Mm-hmm. And is it still possible for the hammer to be recorded? I think so if GP centers the Nuka Forest tile, but that's about it.
Yeah, it is a rabbit hole. That is right, Jiro.
Yeah. But yeah, if the hammer's recorded, that could help Nim catch back up, because otherwise I think Chroma's got a pretty commanding lead in terms of he's got more palaces down, he's got more items and more spells, and his overall routing and execution has been superior to Nim's.
Yeah, one interesting thing about the NES palette is that there's not actually like a strong yellow color. Like there's a, slightly yellow-orangish color, but just weird stuff.
Yeah. This is definitely a very much in this P2 was more rust colors, as you said, on Chroma's side. This really is a true orange color, like the fruit orange for him.
Yeah.
It's pretty bright. Not too hard on the eyes, at least. But it is a fairly bright shade of orange.
Yeah, so if you notice that the Triforce in a lot of the Zelda games on the NES, it's like color cycling between various different colors to kind of be like a flashing, glowing sort of thing. It's
that
not
makes
like
sense.
yellow like on A Link to the Past.
Gonna just cast jump here for Nim to get through this room. You can manage it without jump, but it's fairly precise. And Chroma's down with Guma. Very nice fight, and that's 51 minutes in. He's got 5 gems placed. Just needs to walk back to the east, pick BP4, pick up Thunder, and then go find GP somewhere. We haven't actually located GP. We haven't. As I mentioned earlier, typically Vanilla-like East are separated into 3 parts: North, Middle, South. And I don't think we've seen the northern part of the east yet. I think it might be Bootslocked, that lake that was next to the Valley of Death, approximately. I think you might need to walk along that lake to get north to find GP up there, but I don't know for sure. We are still missing, I think, both P-Bag. We've seen both P-Bag keys in the east, so it's really just GP that we're missing.
Right, yeah. Where are
Chroma does first help. Chroma checking for Spell and Rudo just in case, I guess, there. I still don't know where Rudo is. We've seen most of this map. It's not here in the southwest corner, though good thought from Chroma to check it.
Well, I would like to see it, but I suppose it could still be necessary to find Rudo if that's how you get Spell, and Spell Tower is where the hammer is, and the Hammer Forest tile is where GP is. You get a little trade quest thing like that. It would be possible that they would need Rudo in that case. It's a lot of conditions, but we're running out of other things it could be, so...
Yeah. Spell Tower P4 and 1 Death Mountain check remain. We know that Cross is in Death Mountain from a hint. And personally, I'm really confused where this Rudo is. I thought it was the northwest part of the map, behind Boots, where that bridge Nim found, actually, but it's not there, and I'm not sure where else it could be. I don't think it's up north, but... Chroma's certainly trying to find... I'm surprised he's pushing this hard, but I guess he wants to really make sure he finds Rudo before he leaves. As is mentioned, he wants to never come back here.
And RG, we know that one of the Death Mountain checks will be Cross.
Yeah, I just said that earlier.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I was, I guess my mind was deep into Hyrule.
Yeah, Alright, P2's down for Nim, so that is his 3rd gem here, 54 minutes in. And Chroma's really trying to find this Rudo, which it's an interesting choice from him to play to that chance that Rudo is.
Oh, did you see that block there that Chroma just came across?
Is that where Rudo is? Is that on the other side of that hammer rock? That would actually explain why we can't find it. It might be behind that hammer block.
That's great.
Okay, game. That's incredible, actually. That's good news for Chroma, though. It means he doesn't need to find Rudo to get hammer.
I think you can just walk in here. I think that's where the hammer block was, right there. I think it just
No, I think there's 2 hammer blocks. I think he found the other one.
Okay.
Oh
yeah. That's the one. So he tried to go in there just to get a little bit more vision to see if the town's there.
Yeah, if Hammer's chilling in P5, this Chroma might have to go back in, but he's gonna go bait P4 first.
Let's do it. Yeah, P4 is easier to get the item out of.
But yeah, that said, now that we know that Rudo is apparently hammer blocked, that's actually pretty impressive and kind of unusual to see. Now that we know Rudo is presumably there because we've seen everything else on this West, we don't need spell power for the hammer. Unless the seed's broken, which would be rare if we'd have to report it to Eldar again. Unless somehow the seed broke, the hammer should not be in spell tower.
Yeah.
P5 is a heart container, right? That's also a good point. I forgot we saw it earlier from Chroma. P4's item is outstanding. Chroma might look for while he's here, just in case. And then we also are missing one item from Death Mountain.
You're handing out compliments like that. Very nice. Sorry. I think P4's item is outstanding too. And we gotta build up its confidence.
Ha. Sorry, that took me a sec to get the joke. My sense of humor apparently is not entirely functional today.
Well, my sense of humor is just bad most of the time, but I'm sure Irene appreciated my my wordplay there.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Irene is, after all, Irene Pun Master.
That's right. Well, thank you. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, we're usually pretty dorky.
I do tend to say it's one of the said on comms actually. I think, but I'd like to say that random Z2R comms is a mix of getting lost, doing math, and commenting, and doing interior and decorating analysis with the palace colors.
VT Slacker asking which one of us is which. I'm Star.
And I'm Nightcrawler.
Yep. See, not confused anymore, right? Perfect. It's true. Yeah, I wish I could be a dragon. Gosh, I got the lame Chinese zodiac sign, the rat. Didn't the rat win the race or something like that? I don't know.
I think so, but I don't remember the specifics offhand.
I still don't want to be a rat.
That's fair. Risen Teabag here for Nim, Cave here for Nim. I don't remember what this is off the top of my head. Anyways, for those who don't know, I'm born in the US, but my parents are both from China, so raised with heavy amounts of Chinese cultural influence, and I was in fact born in the year of the dragon. And so all of my emotes are dragon emotes.
I just found out after watching a comparative something video not too long ago by Craig and Fort that I thought that the Chinese zodiac and the Western zodiac were completely unrelated, but I guess there actually was an adoption at one point. They sort of split off from each other, so that's pretty interesting.
Gotcha. And
There's still of each.
apparently we've got someone bored of the year. If the snake in chat sniffs at rat, lol.
Oh no! Don't eat me.
Thankfully, I'm not the type. I'm not the animal eating type of dragon, or not the rat eating type of dragon.
I feel like a dragon eating a rat's really punching death. Don't you think?
Kind of, yes. I do prefer to identify more with the Eastern dragon stereotype of like wise guardians rather than the village destroying Western dragons.
There it
There's
is.
our hammer. For Chroma in P4, he is guaranteed 100% in Go mode, and I don't know why he's going to spell to Rulo.
Wow,
Chroma?
I think he's coming back up to the Okay, there we go. But yeah,
I don't know why he's obeying
RPG,
either. I just walk over to the east. Chroma?
we just got a big raid from RPG Limit Break.
No, seriously though. Yeah, welcome in, Raiders, for RPG Limit Break, rating with a party of 174. I assume you guys are probably race streaming some Dragon Warrior Randomizer. Seeing one of your own race here, Nimanva versus Chromataclysm as we hit the 1 hour mark. Happy 1 hour, everyone. We're an hour into a Zelda Randomizer standard tournament 2023 race between Nimanva and Chromataclysm. I don't know why Chroma's getting spell, but go him, I guess.
That's. I mean, he doesn't actually need to get spell. He came here anyway.
I don't know why he's here.
But you know what? I love it as an ending because, like, I wanted to see. No, don't leave. You're already here. No. To see it, Chroma, but at the same moment that we're talking about it, he's like, "Wait a second."
He's like, "Wait, what am I doing?"
Yeah, he was like going over all the different possibilities in his mind that we were mentioning, like, "Oh, you might need spell to get into spell tower to get the hammer," and since he got the hammer, he's like, "Oh yeah, now I can get into
Yeah, because this place was hammer locked earlier, and then he's like, "Wait, no, that's not what I wanted hammer for. Get out of here."
Yeah, but I did want to see that little valley, and thank you for showing that to me, Chroma, because that valley is rad.
Oh yeah, I'm glad you showed it to us because I was curious as well where exactly Ruto was hiding at.
It's so cool. It's not very often that you get a situation like that where you have something potentially critical that's locked in its kind of own little area that you can't even see from outside.
No.
But it happens.
Did Bagu just go forest surfing? We saw Bagu's woods. We saw Bagu earlier, somewhere in the southwest part of the map. On the other side of Saria, ironically enough, so we needed Fairy to get through Saria, because Boots behind it too. But yeah, Chroma, okay, so we can't go north from that little body of water there. So I guess you have to go north from here for Chroma to find GP potentially, or no? Oh, yeah, he's getting Thunder first. Duh. Right. Map random's fun. As Nim arrives on Barba here. Wrong down, Chroma.
Here we go. He's, by the way, what? Oh, he's getting upstab. Okay, cool.
Yeah. No, you need Thunder too.
Oh, yeah. Because he marked already, because he's so close, but he doesn't actually have it.
Our tracker marked Thunder for him, yeah.
Yeah, and he picked up upstab with a clip earlier, I forgot.
He did, yes.
Let me in! I got a race to finish! I can give you most powerful magic. You can indeed. Now, Nimanva, when you watch us back, this is a good spot you can gain a lot of time, because Barba can keep you really waiting. You know, you can't attack him or her until she comes up. So you can have multiple cycles like this, but there are 2 or 3 ways to beat this dragon very quickly. You can watch Chroma do the jackhammer strat, which is my personal favorite because it's exciting and it's death-defying and all that kind of stuff. You kind of put it all on the line, and if you do it correctly, you can actually one-cycle Barbara here. And then, of course, you've probably seen the way Mirai does it, which is kind of boring, Mirai. Come on, Get your shit together, Mirai. But that's another way of doing it. And you can, with Mirai's method, he's really good at that. Like, I can't get that many attacks on Barba using that method. But I think I've seen him one-cycle Barba with that, which is not common, but it can happen. But you get very low cycles that way.
This is a really squirrely Eastern Continent map, by the way. I'm surprised there's this much up here, given that only GP can be up here, given we've seen all the towns and all the other items. And the other palaces, but I guess GP's just up in its own part of the map today, all the way up here in the far north. Hard boots locked.
Wait, what? Sorry, what was under the forest tile? I was looking at Nimanva. I assumed this could be GP.
I have no idea. I had to be nothing, as we see there's a river double to nowhere. Thanks,
oh
game.
My gosh.
Just barely saw him on the edge of the screen there for Chroma. 105, I think that was like 17 for him.
So this seed tricked the heck out of Chroma at the end of it. He didn't need the hammer, I don't think.
He did not need a hammer.
And he definitely didn't need the spell.
Nope. Chroma probably doesn't feel super good about losing a minute or two to digging out the going for Rudo.
Yeah. Oh, just real quick for Nimanva when you watch this back. Oh, jeez. Here's Thunderbird.
That's really quick, T-Bird. Yeah, go ahead.
My recommendation for practicing bosses is to start a seed and set the attack strength to weak and magic to unlimited. Start yourself with everything that you could need, and like, you know, all the different spells and stuff, and then just put a save state right before you enter the room for each boss. And then don't level up your attack ever. So you want to hit basically with a roll of, you know, newspaper for your attack. So you don't do much damage. That way you can spend a lot of time with the boss, and if you get hit, you can just repeatedly cast life and, you know, get yourself back up down to percent. It's probably the best way to learn different boss strats.
Yep.
Oh yeah, now you can put max attack level 1. True. Good point, Aaron.
Yeah.
And when I was racing, you know, back in 700 BC, which was a really rough time, by the way. Yeah, I would do the bosses. I would load up that seed to do all the different bosses before each race. Yeah, my internet did suck back then. It was pretty rough.
We were discussing a bit about things before the restream started, yeah.
It was a landline. I mean, I guess it would have to be. Sorry, I was trying to make a pun. It didn't quite work. Landline would work better if this was Stone Age, but I said 700 BC. So, that's Bronze Age.
I think you lost me, to be honest.
Yeah, I was trying to make a Stone Age joke, but it was in the wrong era. Sorry.
Yeah. Alright, continue GP exploration for Chroma. T-Board is in like the first room basically, so unfortunately there's really no guidance as to where Darkling is, because he has to be after T-Bird, but after T-Bird is L of GP, so he could be anywhere.
I love it! Captain Bardo!
That's a good one. You and sundial of internet. Ha, that is good.
That's an A+ right there. You get extra credit on that one. Irene's gonna be kicking herself that she didn't think of that one. Band Schizo. I'm upset that I missed these Z2 events live. Do you have a hard time making these times as well?
Yeah, because the Z2R community is largely a very, very degen community. We do like I think like 90% of races or something are after 8 p.m. At least 50% 10 p.m. Eastern or later, probably.
It would be.
Any earlier is like 7 p.m. is unusually early.
I mean, it would be great to support more communities, like in more languages and stuff like that. Like, Taiwan, China, Korea, Japan, Singapore, Philippines, that sort of stuff. But we just haven't. And it'd be hard to get that set up, but it'd be cool.
Time zones can be hard. I know we've got a Taiwanese runner in OTR. I know there's a guy who lives in Korea in the LTDPR community. There's some Australians around OTR and MMR as well, and time zones are hard for them, especially. And don't worry about sleeping through your alarm and missing the beginning. This race started 20 minutes late because one of our runners slept through his alarm.
Yeah, it was a sleepy day at the Piggy household, I think. But it's a nice calm Saturday, so I can understand it.
Yep. Here's a tip. Please don't sleep through your alarm. As there's Darkling for Chroma. Okay, we're done, I guess. IMO, the Japanese and Chinese players just don't seem as interested in Rando. I suppose there's also that too. I know for Chinese and I think that's much the same for Japan. There's a bit of an aversion culturally to modifying other people's work like that in like randomizer scripts and whatnot. I think it's at least partially a cultural thing where I'm very much not a person for glitches as well for similar reasons. Yeah. GG's here though to Chroma with an official time of 1:11:23.
Yep, and you can see in Aaron's Zelda 1 Triforce that it's switching from that orangey yellow to a blue. And here it's switching... what orangey and white?
I think that's white is what it's flashing to, yeah.
And red. I think red's in there too.
It might be, yeah, it's pretty quick. Also, the version is still too different, so the way that the game is designed might not be considered easy to work with. I don't know specifics, really, Irene. Yeah, that is just the Chroma. We're going to see if he is going to come interview here shortly, once he gets some headphones, and Nimanva has decided I'm done with the seed as well here, so GG's to Nim.
Yeah, I mean, there are some differences. I think maybe you can run the randomizer on a Japanese ROM, but still the American version is better, so they should be happy to use the American version of the game. I mean, it's better in most respects. There's like one or two things that the Japanese version of the game's better at, but yeah.
I think the other thing too for like Japanese and Chinese players is that unlike the Europeans, where at least their languages, share the same written alphabet as English, which helps significantly with learning the language. Japanese and Chinese have very, very different writing systems. They're very, very different languages, so there's also a bit of a language barrier too.
I feel like we might get more people interested than we suspect if we made it approachable. Like if we had, I mean, the thing is, you would need bilingual comms who could interact with trackers and restreamers from who can, do it at that time of day. Or you could have monolingual comms who are also interacting with trackers and restreamers who know that language. It'd be rough to set up, but I think if we actually did make it available and we had like a tips and tricks video, I think it could happen. But it looks like Nimanva is going to be forfeiting out of it, huh?
Yep, Nim has decided to forfeit, and Chroma, Nim does need to go eat some dinner for something, presumably. And we are going to get Chroma in for an interview right now. GG's, Chroma.
We can't hear you yet, Chroma.
Yeah, if you're saying anything, we can't hear it.
Check.
There it is.
Check
Yeah.
one. Check. Hello.
That's
Hey!
perfect.
Hi.
GG's, Chroma.
Thank you. How y'all doing?
That's good.
All right. You?
I'm glad that the race happened.
Me too. Me too. I really am. I'd much rather play the game than not play the game if we're gonna do tournament time. So I'm glad that worked out.
Mhm.
All right, Star, roast me.
Going to Rudo at the end?
Already
What do you
done, I'm
think?
sure.
Yeah. I mean, yes, that's the really big. The one big thing I could really nitpick you on is Bruno. What was that about at the end there?
So I knew there were a few things that I was going to need, and definitely did not have which things those were firmly in my mind. So I still had it in my head somehow that there was something in Spelltown that I was
Mhm.
gonna need. And I got so stuck on that idea
Mhm.
that, yeah, grabbing the hammer, finding Ruto, getting Spell was all just kind of in the forefront. And I had been over there, and that was what was so frustrating about it, is that I even like walked down in that direction, didn't grab Thunder, because I had totally forgotten that that was available, and I could have just grabbed it and gone. So I don't know that that was 11 minutes worth of time save. little bit of luck in GP
I don't.
also could have gone my way, but
I don't think your GP was too terrible, although Nightcrawler and I
no,
had gotten a little sidetracked at that point.
yeah, I'm sure.
Uh, um, but no, you played pretty well that aside. We definitely
Yeah.
had a moment of wondering. I think I think it kind of made sense for you to check like P4 for the item and whatnot, just in case GP was hammerlock because you hadn't found GP at that point.
That is true. I hadn't seen it yet.
And Spell Tower could have had your hammer until we found out Ruda was hammerlocked, and then it's like, Chakova, wait, where are you going?
Yeah,
But you know what? We were kind of looking forward to seeing that town too, so we're kind of glad
Because they were
we did
curious
it.
where it was, yeah,
it
just
was
for, you know.
locked. Yeah.
It was a mysterious
It's
town in a
it's
valley you
pretty
couldn't even see.
unusual to see a vanilla like map be segmented like that, yeah.
hmm
I loved it.
I thought it was cool. Like I gotta say, like as annoying as some of the progression was, just because of my brain, um, it was a pretty cool layout. Like that could have
Mhm.
been a really satisfying seed if the brain was working right. It's the logic, you know. Like I've just been leaning way too hard into the intuition lately, and a lot of what this game is about is like actually having that checklist in your head that that goes beyond the tracker. The like, yeah, I see what I have, I see what I don't have, but like, what do I need, and how am I going to get that is so much more important. And yeah,
Yeah.
I do tend to just try to get into a good flow and like play technically. And I feel like if I'm going fast, then in most cases that works out well. And then against some of the tougher competition in this tournament, it's got to be both.
It
and
does.
so
You,
we'll warm up. We'll practice that. I do want to be more
yeah.
systematic. Um, maybe
Yeah,
It
we can
is
we
get
our
there.
first time seeing you in a tournament in a little while. It's good to have you back, Chroma.
Yeah, there was some hardware issues. There was some big life changes, and that happens. Pretty good place overall, and do have to continue to thank Trav White for the use of his spare NES, because that, that continues to come in handy. Yep, should be solid to be here for the rest of the tournament.
that's good.
Nice,
Yeah,
yeah. You did put
we've
up a
missed
really
you.
good showing today. Minor group with Rudo aside, I think you did pretty well.
Thanks, glad to hear it. There, I did get a little too into reset Chan there, and yeah, too young for me. Gotta stay away from that.
Because,
Not a great show.
we were discussing this one issue, but we're like, Nimanva is primarily more of a DWR runner and less on Z2R, so,
Right.
execution especially is a bit of a rough one, especially because you have very, very good execution, Chroma. Took a few rough deaths, some game overs, and that was especially hard for Nim in part because This seed, if you wanted to get to the east, you had to go through the entire western continent.
Yeah.
Nim did that several times,
Yeah,
and
that's
that
probably the
lost him a
biggest
good few
difference
minutes.
maker. Mhm.
Yeah, I'm not shocked. It was a very tricky layout. And
Yeah, because you started all the way in the northeast corner of the west, and your only way off the continent was the raft tile in the far southwest, locked behind Osaria, of all things, which you had to get the fairy spell for. Thankfully, that was castable because that was a pretty long walk.
yeah, level 2 fairy was castable, which is not super common. So
No, I think it
getting
was
fairy and
59.
magic key was so
Yeah.
nice. Getting both of those things early.
You guys,
I have to say that like raft early also was making me think, yeah, that's what I should be looking for. Raft tile is going to be, um, at least something easy to check off once you have it.
Right.
yeah, it does tend
Sometimes,
to be suspicious
And that led to
sometimes when the game
that led
just
to Death
throws a
Mountain, right?
raft at you. Raft? No, that raft was to
Oh,
the
it was.
east.
Oh yeah.
yeah, there's a
The
cave. There were
bridge.
2 caves to Death Mountain in different places. Or no, it was the bridge that took you to Death Mountain from Maze
Cave
Island.
and Bridge, I think.
There was a moment
I
about 2/3 of the way through the match. I was like, "We're gonna get a Death Mountain dig, aren't we?" And we didn't.
no,
No.
no. I told Star that wasn't allowed in this seed, and she followed through. So.
Oh,
Thank you.
dang it, Star! How much do I have to pay you to roll a seed with a Death Mountain dig?
uh,
more than I'm paying her. It's a bidding war. Yeah, that was pretty fun though. Yeah, pleased with how it went overall. Hopefully clean up some of those brain errors along the way, and I think that's the main thing. I definitely play this game for fun, and so if I'm not doing that, I'm doing something wrong. So even if it doesn't go my way, too much other life to worry about at this point.
Yeah, I think
yeah.
most of our players, even the high end players, play this and really try to have a good time when they do it.
Yeah.
I mean, at its core, we all play Rando for the fun of it. It's not like there's a cash prize on the line or anything for this tourney, so.
No, no.
Well, maybe I should throw some cash in there. No,
Hey now.
I can't right now. Too bad.
future dinner or drinks if we're in the same town is always a nice sentiment, I think.
Cool. Well, yeah. If that ever happens, yeah, I'd like to hang out.
Yeah, pretty much goes for anybody in the community. I mean, uh, far northern California, Humboldt County, yeah,
Yeah.
anybody's coming through. I know who you are. Yeah. Be always be cool to kind of get to know the people that you already kind of know,
Mhm.
and haven't
Having
had
done a
that
few
opportunity yet.
in-person meetups of my own, it's always really neat. Going to Speed Gaming Live in person again this year. I did so last year, and that's good fun. I'd see one
Yeah.
or two people there from the Z1R, for the Z2R and Z1R side, I suppose. I know Trails is around that neck of the woods. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I know
Uh,
Trails came down to visit his brother like 6 months ago, and I meant to hang out with him, and it never happened, unfortunately. But
That's too bad.
Sometimes things
Yeah,
happen
life
that,
gets in the way. Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah.
It's interesting how things have shifted because I really got into speedrunning period because of COVID, and this is the first time where I'm getting into one of these tournaments where it really does feel like, hey, this served a lot of its purpose for me, and now it has a like very small place in my life that is, it's a fond place, but I can't dedicate nearly as much into the casual races and the like chasing the um, better vanilla times and all that. I do expect things to kind of stable out and just be fun in the background. I don't know, kind of like Rose City
Gotcha.
Saint used to do, just show up around tournament time and then disappear. Might be
Yeah.
a little more of that in the future. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean,
Speaking of you know high end playing, did I see Link Feet
You
in
did.
Maze Island?
I've
Holy
been doing it all the
crap.
time. Maze Island, like it
Yeah.
makes a huge difference. I almost always try to avoid doing it from the right side. Like I'll do it maybe once just to see if it's dialed in, but like left side, yeah, pretty consistently I want to be doing that. Because without Fairy Spell, that saves a ton of time around those maps.
Mhm.
And learning it from the left side is really not bad. If we're already doing just a one frame tap to edge over to the side of the screen until Fairy disappears, it's sort of similar. I mean, that you got to do the turnaround and then press left at the exact frame as you press start, and then you're buffered. You can just press right. So, like, I would recommend anybody who is in this tournament and has the ability to. Well, you don't even need save states for that because it's so easy to exit and try again. But like that one can really give you an edge if you get comfortable with it.
Yeah, I was blown away. Because I know you said you've been using it more often, but I don't really calm every game like I used to, and so I haven't calmed one of your games in quite some time.
Yeah, it's been more casual races, but I mean,
Yeah.
I had a big any percent push recently. I don't know that that's something I care to get back to. Just everything has to go perfect. But that's where those techniques were really developed. Frosted Pears, and then Slackinator, and everybody else who worked on that stuff. Those are the tutorials to look up as well. Yeah, love to have more people getting in on that.
I've seen. Well, I saw you practicing vanilla strats early on. Is Link Feet adopted as by pretty much all the vanilla runners at this point?
All the vanilla runners that are doing categories with glitches. So like the all keys is like no glitches whatsoever, and that's the most popular category. So anybody who's running other stuff, since that kind of got developed, there have been a few people going in and lowering some of the old records now that that's available. Because there are so many places throughout a bunch of those categories where you can do it.
Mm-hmm.
But any percent is really where it lives.
Well, it's really interesting to see something that for a while was like a TAS only trick be pulled off by players live.
Yeah,
That's so
it was
cool.
rough when we couldn't buffer because the way it works is you have to be on that last pixel, and there's like the setup is a sub-pixel thing, but it's like guaranteed from the left side as long as you land on the left pixel. And it used to be we had to do one frame left, one frame right immediately after, and that's really hard.
Yeah.
But left and pause at the same time, clicking two buttons at the same time, does feel a little easier than one right after the other a frame apart. And it's so quick to reset that. You only lose a couple seconds every failed attempt.
And you're on hardware, right? So you got the squishy start button.
Yeah.
Does that affect it when you're trying to do it,
I think
perfect?
Link Feet might be one of the things that like you don't have a ton of benefit from like the actual hardware, because the only thing is just landing on the right pixel, and like that's a feel thing more than anything else. It's more about timing than the visual for me. And then once you're on that pixel, two buttons at the same time, that's it.
Cool. And once again, for anyone who wants to look it up, you said there were tutorials by some people on YouTube.
So Frosted Pears is the guy who developed it.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe Slackinator's done some tutorials. There may be some other stuff for the left side. I wish I could credit everybody who really developed that, or be able to cite directly a good tutorial, toss it in the chat or something. But yeah,
Cool.
that's what I got for you right now.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I'm sure that'll be helpful to people who watch this race and want to improve their times.
Yep.
Well, great. Yeah. Anything else going on in your week?
That's pretty much it. Not gaming a ton, just working hard and trying to enjoy things, writing a lot of music. That's been the most fun, and yeah, excited for dinner now. I also want dinner.
Hear that's going around.
Yeah,
cool.
Appreciate your work tonight. Thank you. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you, Chroma. Glad to have you around. GG's.
All right, see you.
Bye. Guess that does it for us, huh, Star?
Yeah, I do think that's about it. Thanks as always for the comms, Nightcrawler. It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure
And
to be
thanks
here.
Yeah, of course. And so please do give both of our runners a follow here, Nimanva and chromataclysm, as well as thanks to Nightcrawler, my co-cam, and our tracker, RG, doing a great job for their first time on Clickety Clack. But that's going to be it here for us tonight. Coming up ahead on the ZSR schedule, this was the final match of the Swiss Round 1 for this tournament. So tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern over at twitch.tv/ the Alan Heffley, we will have the reveal for the matchup for Swiss Round 2. And then we'll have those matches coming up on the schedule throughout the week. In the meantime, though, right now, currently over on ZSR Main, we've got ourselves the Ocarina of Time Randomizer and a weekly race. They're about not quite 3 hours in. And we're going to be raiding over shortly here to ZSR 3, which has a winner randomizer Season 6 Challenge Cup Winners Bracket quarterfinals match between Blanc and Tomodachi. Their Game 1 and the best of 3. Game 2 will be following shortly after. We have tomorrow coming up, 9 a.m. Eastern. We'll have the Ocarina of Time Any Weekly Race. We also have before that, actually forgot that was there, an 8:30 a.m. race between the winner randomizer tournament and other winners quarters finals match between an Advocate and Lanamphy. Also got the grand finals of the past randomizer All Dungeons Sandy tournament between Gamachu and Kaide Rukawa, games 2 and 3 tomorrow at 10 a.m. and noon Eastern as a double header, and more matches besides that if you want to check those out. For the moment, though, that is going to be it here for us tonight. Thank you for watching all, and we will see you next time.
Bye.